What y'all doing? Where you going, boy? Where y'all going? Hey, y'all. Well, if you've been watching my Pennsylvania hiking trip lately, you should know, but if you don't know, I apologize, that was actually last year's Pennsylvania trip. So I know it's been it's been a year that those are behind, but I wanted to go ahead and make sure that I got those online for folks to watch, because there are people that watch the channel and they kind of prep for their hikes by looking at my section videos. So I've got all of my section hikes up and down the trail, everything that I've done, over 2/3 of it, that are on YouTube. So I want to go ahead and include those. Now, moving forward, these are all this year. So these are all current hiking trips through Pennsylvania. Want to include those with you. So here we go. All right, so this is PA part 2. So last year, came up here with Dianimal and did the southern part. Now we are doing the northern part. And we did all the non-rocky stuff last year. So now I'm getting ready to head into the rocks. So, but I'm excited to be here. You know, even walking on rocks, a bad day on the trail is better than a good day in the office, right? Or good day at work, whatever your work situation is. But anyway, got picked up, dropped my car off. I'm starting here at Clark's Valley. This is where I ended up last year. I remember these multiple pipes where the water comes out of them and goes into the creek here. So anyway, I'm excited about getting on trail, and as I always say before I start the next trip, here we go. So one thing about the AT is you're walking through history. So much of the AT, when it was carved out of the landscape, followed logging roads, existing roads, backcountry trails, existing trails, things like that. And a lot of it is the way it is because it weaves around national parks, state parks, things like that, to get it away from private property. But one of the things I always think is interesting when I see structures, I mean, the structures may be hundreds of years old on the trail. But when I come across things like this retaining wall right here, so obviously that's man-made, didn't grow that way. And it even looks like we've got stones placed over here for retaining wall as well. So I'm betting that what this is you see how wide the trail is right here. So much of the trail is not near this wide. See how wide it is. Continues wide up there, but all of this area was logged. No, it's not old growth forest. It's second or even third generation forest, maybe more. But anyway, so the trail comes up here, and then they built this, built the retaining wall to hold back the ground, and then this campsite right here. But that was probably a landing area for logs, where they would bring like a Shay locomotive or mules up here, and then they would, if it was a rail bed, they would back up here, go forward here and then back in there, or maybe vice versa. I don't know how they did that, but in any case, that could be it. Could be this is where they landed and the mules drug them. I'm also seeing a couple pits around here. So this is Pennsylvania. There was a big, huge, giant pit up there. This is Pennsylvania. So it could be they were getting iron ore out of here, you know, to make, for smelting, to make iron. Pennsylvania, particularly the western part, is known for iron, but steel plants. But I'm not sure about the eastern part where I'm at now. But in any case, certainly could use it for raw source of the materials because you know, it's in the mountains as opposed to, I think most of the steel plants are kind of in the flatlands. But anyway, they had to be around rivers, you know, for the processing and the cooling. So anyhow, I always think that's pretty neat. Obviously, they've got a great supply of rock here, and you know, it always, there's a couple places back there where I came up some rock falls that just go on and on and on, you know, further than you can actually see almost. And it's interesting. I don't know how those form. I mean, these probably were not man-made, but it's like a trail going up there. different trail. Some of that may have been moved, not sure, but anyway. All right, I'm gonna got a little down here. I'm gonna take a little respite here, and hopefully I've about got another mile to get to the top of this, and we'll see when we get there. That campsite, by the way, back there, I'll leave the mileage indicator down below. It's not marked on far out. There's no water there, but it is a really good place to camp. There is water. You saw that water down below that. That's nasty orange looking water. I don't know if I want that to run in through my filter or not, but anyway, there is some abundant water there coming out of the side of the mountain. If that orange is not something toxic, which being natural like that, I don't think it is, but I didn't get any anyway. All right, going back up. Chat with you in a bit. All right, well, I got it down here for a minute. Met my first SOBO Pure. That was Raspberry. Didn't get a picture of her, sorry. I'm bad about not asking. I don't want to intrude upon people. You know, a lot of times if they recognize me, they want a picture, and of course that opens the door for me to take a picture with them with my camera. So other than that, I try not to intrude upon people's privacy. And it was kind of obvious. She's nice and everything. She just was didn't want to have a long protracted conversation. So she but her name was, I think I said Raspberry, and she left June 15th from Katahdin. So that was pretty cool to meet her. Said there's a couple of folks behind her today. So she was not from around here, had an accent. Not good with accents, European, but probably was older than me, but not too much older than me. Anyway, she was looked like she was enjoying life. So good luck to you, Raspberry. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this semi sort of level hike here. All right, made it to the top. So up here at the top, and I know it's the top because I can see daylight over there, and there's daylight over there. So this is the ridge line. So this is a really nice place to camp up here. There is bukus of flat spots. There's roots around some of these bigger trees, but we got this old foundation here. So that was the steps where they came down. Probably right there was the steps, and then over here, and then there's the other one. Those other two over there. So those are foundations for. It was a cotton picking fire tower is what it was here. So long gone away from here, but this was a fire tower, and that is what that road is coming up here. So I talked about it being a logging road or something like that, and it very well may have been at one time, but it was more than likely what it was the access road to get up here to the fire tower. Don't know where the cabin was, if it was like in this area right here where those rocks are kind of laid in a semicircle, or what the story was. But they typically had the fire tower, and then they had the cabin, fire warden's cabin next to it. There's not many of them left. There's the Roan High Mountain Shelter is actually a fire warden's cabin. There's a couple chimneys, I think, coming out of the Smokies. There's one there at the first tower coming into, let's see, the first tower that you come to at the 100-mile mark on the trail coming out of Georgia, out of Springer, is that's got a chimney at it. So yeah, I'm gonna wander around here and see if I can find where the fire warden's cabin was. Should be one more. Got my own little private air show. That was A-10s. apparently there is a Air Force base here. I heard a noise I have not heard in a long time. So there's a firing range somewhere around here, and this is them egressing from the firing range. I heard that familiar. That's that Gatling gun going off the front end of that thing. I think it's 23 millimeter. Giant freaking rounds. But anyway, those are A-10 Warthogs, soon to be retired. But that was awesome. So they are made for close air support. And they were huge in Iraq, Afghanistan, Gulf War, providing close air support for troops. It is Air Force, but they provide close air support for anybody. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Hadn't heard that noise in a long time. And it's somewhere over there on the other side. So you hear that? That means he's going to be coming through here probably, unless they circle back around that way and are heading that way. I don't hear them coming this way. But I heard that burp again. Yeah, here it comes. Can't hardly see him. There'll be 3 more coming behind him. See if we can hear their guns. They're coming in from a different compass heading now than they were before. Yeah, that's neat. They are low nap of the earth coming across here. Pretty freaking neat. Hadn't heard that since my gunnery days, when I was a tanker. Yeah, he's way up there. He's circling back around. We'll probably hear him again. Ruh-roh. I may have just hit Roxylvania. Yeah, this is starting to look like a cheese grater field. All right. All right, this is a 3/10 of a mile blue blaze off of the Rouse Gap shelter. And this don't look like an old rail bed. I don't know what does. Flat, wide, built up. Had to been definitely an old logging road of some type. But anyway, so I'll try to remember to do a wrap up end of the day. If I don't, this may be it. If I do, I'll probably go over the same stuff and edit it out. Anyway, so 11.8 miles coming off the couch. Yeah, how's that? Well, I hadn't hiked, been out again since the Shenandoah, which I think was in March, maybe April, and this is mid-August. And I gotta say, boy, my body is not used to hiking. Now, I'm not slack packing, but I'm not carrying a full load either. But really, the only thing I've left out is a little bit of clothes, a little bit of food, but I got 2 days of food. So, yeah. So I'm pretty much carrying 20 pounds-ish, 20-ish pounds. But I'm whooped. My glutes are hurting. My plantar fascia is hurting. My thighs are hurting. My calves are hurting. My ankles are hurting. I think my hair's hurting. So, we'll see how I do tomorrow. This is day 1 of what's looking like to be about 8 days. Don't know if I'll make Delaware Water Gap in that time or not. I'll have to look and got to do some planning. Probably not, and that's okay. That was my goal, but I also plan to be here 9 or 10 days, and I'm not going to make those 9 or 10 days. I just need to get, I got a 9-hour drive to begin with, and I'll have to stay somewhere overnight, probably in a rest stop, get me a few hours of shut-eye to keep from being dangerous on the road. So, and then I like to have a day to decompress back home. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to try to do. Otherwise, I'll chat with you tomorrow. So anyway, that is it for day 1 of Pennsylvania year 2. Don't know if I'll finish Pennsylvania this year, but we'll see. That's the goal. It's okay if we don't realize our goal, right? As long as you got goals to set and goals to try to achieve. That's the main thing. Anyway, in the morning, meet Fresh Ground, and he should have breakfast ready for me about 4 miles, and then I'll keep on going. Probably tomorrow will be a 15-mile day. We'll see how that goes. So there's no really campsites here, so the shelter's right here on this precipice. There was some campsites back there earlier, but there's not really a place around here. It's either rocks or growed up or trail. Don't know what's down there. Looks like people have tried to go down there, and just probably people going down there enough to see if there's a place to camp down there. I don't know. If you've been here before and you know there's a place to camp down there behind the shelter, leave a comment down below. Anyway, there's the back side, and that will be it for the night. And I got here early. This is the earliest I've ever been here. It's privy. Typically I get to camp, well, in the Shenandoahs it was dark. Of course, that was in the early spring too. So, it doesn't stay daylight as long, but it was probably maybe 7:30 or 8 when I got there. Started about the same time. So, but it's just daylight longer now. So anyway, that is it for today. I know I've said that 8 times, sorry. But anyway, I'm done for now. We'll see y'all in the morning. Well, one more thing for the day. There's plenty of camping here. There it is. That's back behind the shelter and back behind the privy. It's here if you need it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you about my heart issues. That was kind of an important thing too. Hey, tune in tomorrow, you'll get all that. Look at him. He's running wide open, ain't he? There you go, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Daisy. Daisy, people going to be asking about you. You got to get in there. All right, folks, that is it for the first day of Pennsylvania 2025. So keep on watching, and I'll have the other ones up as soon as I can. All right, y'all. Appreciate you, and we hope to see you out here. Good girl, Daisy. Good girl, Coda.